Okay, another month of Road to Las Vegas competitions. This month we had a bit of music by Julian here. This was a really fun case. I had quite a simple approach to this one, which you'll see as I go through this, and I got it done really quick up to the last question. I think I had like 14 minutes left or something. I blazed through, looked at the time left and thought, oh my god, I'm going to actually complete this like for the first time ever. And then question 7, I just got really flustered that I might actually do it, and let myself down. Couldn't find the right layout for it, and I put some answers in. They didn't match the hints, so at that point I just kind of guessed and submitted, and yeah, extremely frustrating because I could have done it this time. But anyway, let's get into the case. So you're going to have a load of binary codes, and there's a video before the case where you get to watch, so I could kind of do some upfront work. So I'm going to show you the upfront work I did before I started. So basically I took an example binary code and I tried to break it down. So the first 4 digits, which is here, so I pulled out the first 4, so the left of it, and I looked it up into this table manually of ones and zeros to say whether it's off, on, or it's a status. Then the channel, which is the next 4 digits, then the key, which is the next 8 digits, then the velocity, which is the next 8 digits, then I H-stacked them together. So let's just save that lambda now. And this was all upfront work, and that's all I did up to that point. So let's just say code, because I mean this is how I did it in the real thing. Okay, so let's close that, and let's save that in my lambdas. So formulas, new, and I called it music. Whoops, if I spell it right. So this was all done up front before I opened the case, and I'm going to go through my exact way I solved this here. So we'll see how the time is on the second go round. So with that lambda set up, let's do it. So question 1 is just asking for what the last 4 digits are in decimal. So I said write this, comma 4, and then I used decimal 2, which is convert from base 2. Then we want to find what instrument it is, so I just used my music lambda on this that I'd created earlier, and then I said xlookup, and then I said xlookup the channel on here, and give me the instrument back. Here, I probably should have named this table, but I didn't when I did it live. I'm going to do this case exactly how I did it live. Up to question 7 anyway. Then the next question is basically exactly the same, but if you're in channel 10, then you're going to be one of the drums, so you need to additionally look up the note. So let's copy this, and I did some extra helper columns here. So I said xlookup this in the notes, then I just said if this equals 10, then xlookup the note in here, and give me the instrument. Otherwise, xlookup the channel in here, and give me the instrument. So all quite simple stuff so far. Hopefully that's right. Yep. No, I haven't locked some things. Let's just lock these. You never get away from missing locking cells, do you? There we go. So that's how I did question 3. And for question 4, we want to find the average velocity of all the notes. So this is where I set up a data table. So I said example 4, and let's pull out my data. So it's going to be from B up to G. Then I just split the text split of this on this, and I actually want to split it down, and then I just did my music lambda again, music this, and I wanted the velocity, which is just the average of these. The nuance of the question is it asks only when the velocity is on, so this is just the average ifs. So this is the averages I want for when this says on, and we need to round it to the nearest integer. So round that to 0, and that was my question 4. And as you can see at this point, I thought I was doing pretty well and getting quite excited that I might finish in time. And the next question is asking for what note has been used the most. It's a very similar setup, but we're in hexadecimal. So I did example 5, and then I need to convert these to like binary. So I think there's some formulas for it, but what I just did equals hex to decimal of this, and then I did base 2, put it to base 2. Then my music was done on that one, and that was that. There's other formulas you can do here, like hex to deck, deck to hex, all that stuff, but I mean, this is the way I did it. It might not be the most efficient way, but it worked, and I flew through it, so whatever. This one was asking for what note is used the most. So I have a most of lambda, which I think most people do now. First I need to look up the note, so I said x look up the key. Let's just do it single cell in here, and give me this. So if I do most of this, it tells me in order what occurs most often. Underneath, that's just a group by underneath the hood. So I just said at most of that. And then let's put my question numbers in. And I was, like I said, really flying through up to here quickly. Level 6, we have the same thing, but they've removed the separator, and we want to know which instrument doesn't appear. So, example 6, all I did for this one is I changed this to a lambda that splits things into groups of characters, which I have. So I have split text this, and the next argument is groups, so groups of 6. So then everything was just set up instantly. Excuse me. And then I need to find out what instrument's not there. So I just copied all the instruments to here. Well, actually, I need to actually find the instrument first. So when I got to this point in the real thing, I was like, oh, I've got to do that whole instrument thing again, and thought, hang on, wait, I've already done it. Just copy the formula from before. So I just copied my question 3 formula into here, and all I did is move the things around. So I'm looking for that channel, yes, and the key is there still. So all I needed to do was just put case into these, so it references the right X lookup places because they're in another sheet. So I just type case exclamation mark, and it gave me the instrument. So I mean, I was pretty lucky with my setup here. So it's annoying I messed this up on the last hurdle. And then I just use my exists lambda. So does this exist in this list? And that will give me a false or true, whether it's there or not. Under the hood, that's just is number X match. And then I change this to be X lookup false in here, return here. And let's change my question numbers to the right ones for the data table. There we go. This one's a very similar setup. The question is asking what instrument that's been turned on is turned off the quickest for a specific note. So I had this layout and thought, oh, this must be a really easy way to do it. So it goes down a bit further, so let's do that. So all I needed to do, and this is where I really fell down in the case, because like I said, I mean, I was probably on a similar time to what I am now in this video, had like 15 minutes or something, and I'd done a few bonuses at that point as well, and I thought, okay, I just need to figure this out. It's an easy question, like which note, when a note's turned on, when is it turned off? So I started trying to do like a group by for when notes are on. So I did like a group by, you know, these are my instruments, and then I wanted where the notes were a certain thing and when it was on, and it was a mess, like a real mess. And you know, straight after someone in the group said, oh, you just count when it's off, which makes so much sense. So all I need to do is think about it like, for anything that's off, how many times was it on before? And the first time that happens is my instrument. So let's set that up. I actually need to say if this equals off, then count ifs, and I want to count where this, so this drags down, so I'm just going to lock the first part of this this formula. Count where ifs that says my instrument, and the note, and the same thing, let's make that a range that moves with us, is my note, and this status was on. And what we should see is the first time we get a 1, which is here, is the acoustic grand piano. So A4 is off, and it was previously on, which we can see it was on here. So I'm just counting when that happens. So all I need to look up is the 1 in that column. So it's just real simple when you come back to it and just think about it a little bit. So all I need to do is xlookup 1 in here and return the instrument. The first one can never be the right answer because we need to turn something on to turn it off. So that is literally all you need to do. And if I would have figured that out, then I am confident I would have got a perfect score if I'd have figured that out. And with so much time, I really thought I was going to, and I think that panic of, oh my god, I'm going to do it, absolutely ruined me. So anyway, let's do the bonuses. So how many 1s are there in the level 1 messages? So I just said concat the level 1 messages here. And then I used the count occurrence lambda, so count occurrences of 1 in that. Okay, which letter appears exactly 22 times in the level 2 answers. So for this one, I said alphabet. And again, this seems very lambda heavy when I'm doing it now. This is so handy having these lambdas. Again, I did a concat all the answers, and then I did count occurrences of this in this, and we were looking for 22, so I could see that was I, so let's just type that in, I. Next one's very similar. In level 3 messages, count the number of zeros, so I just did this thing. This is the level 3 messages, which are here. Oh, that didn't work, I wasn't inside the formula. Count occurrences of level 3 messages, and this is asking to count the number of zeros. So count the number of zeros, and then subtract the number of 1s. So I just did that same thing again, minus the number of 1s, and then divide by 2. So I can just see that's 20, and then what I did is I just changed this to be the level 3 answers. And then I'm looking for 20, which I can see is R. So that is how I did that one. And again, in the real thing, it was this quick. What is the sum of all the velocity values in level 3? Well, because I set that lambda up, I immediately had the velocity values already there. So I can see that's 1, 4, 2, 9. 1, 4, 2, 9. So setting up that lambda in the way I did really helped with the layout of the case. This bonus I didn't do, but in hindsight I should have done it because I could have done this one without solving the actual question. But in the level 7 example message, after converting all hexadecimals to binary, so let's do that, equals the level 7 example message is going to be this one. So we need to split that into 6s, don't we? So let's do that. So split that into groups of 6. Convert them to binary. So we can say, does hex to bin work here? Let's just try it. No, it doesn't work on arrays for some reason. But it doesn't matter because I didn't even know, I've never used that form before. What I actually did in the real thing was I said hex to decimal, which is one I have used before. So I did hex to dec of that, and then I did base 2, put it to base 2. Just out of interest while I'm here, does dec to bin work there? Dec to bin? No, it doesn't work. But yeah, I don't know why that is, but this is the way I did it. I used base formula, which obviously seems better because it seems to work on arrays fine and it's flexible with the base. So that was that. And then what was the question? Treat each status byte. So the status byte is only the first 8. So then I did left of 8. Or I didn't do that because I didn't actually get to this bonus, but that's what I'm going to do now. And what is the sum of all of those? So I need to times them by 1 to convert from text to numbers, and I need to sum them up. So that is a full solve And oh, it's so frustrating. Is there ever going to be a round where I just use my lambdas, use my skills like this and get through? I really thought this was going to be the one when I got to that last question 7. It's just so disappointing every time to not do so well when you come back to it 5 minutes after and just go, oh, this is easy. I mean, not this easy. I've been practicing a lot. I've practiced so much this week. I've put so many hours in, but I need to continue to do that to level up and score a little better. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. My solution was somewhat simple, I guess. It's just a lot of X lookups, and this lambda kind of really boosted me, as did my other lambdas in my lambda set. So yeah, nothing too long in terms of formulas here, and a fairly simple old school data table approach. I like doing it like this because I don't need to debug anything like one by one. I feel like if you do a long let, you essentially write all these in a let, and then you end up, so you have to write the formulas that you'd written anyway, like this, but you also have to give them a name, so you have the additional typing of giving them a name, and then when you debug, you just have to spill them again like this to look at them and go, oh yeah, that's wrong, let's change it in the let, and then you go back. I mean, that's just not my style. While I can appreciate it's really hard and super impressive, I wouldn't be able to do it like that, so I think I have to stay with the data table approach. That's just the way I like to do it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.